With the Premier League coming to a close, Man City's modern day rivals Liverpool lift the trophy high with City nowhere to be seen. From bad form to Ballon d'Or winner Rodri crucially injured, Man City have collapsed, but things are looking worse with financial fair play charges always appearing at the club. It's time to start fresh and put an end to these breaches once and for all.
Guilty, 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 guilty!
With the charges of any player overall of 85 and the age of 25 are terminated from the club, and within their first season they are stripped of 150 million to reach the fair play rules.
This is a damn shame.
Damn indeed, because as you can see within the team here, we have got no one overall of 85 and also the age of 25, which makes our team looking pretty weak indeed. We have got some loanies which you could suggest to bring back, which I might go ahead and do. But you can also see as well, we have got some players that don't actually belong at Manchester City in some free agents from Qatar here. I literally have to get these guys in, as we will not make this rebuild possible, as we need a minimum of a certain amount of players within this team to actually go for this rebuild of Man City from scratch. And to be honest, it could happen in real life. I mean, not to that for the extent, especially the age, but maybe probably the overall. But you never know, like the likes of Haaland, De Bruyne, I mean, big wages. Maybe one day it might actually bite them in the ass, and Manchester City could come crumbling down from the Oil City owners. But this team is not looking too bad with the likes of Guardiola, Kusanov, Rico Lewis, Doku, Savinio. It's still a good team, but could be a lot better, and it's definitely not a title challenging team like it has been in the past. But with tinkering with the team, we ended up going with the 4-2-1-3 formation, a new formation in this EA25 or FIFA, however you want to refer it, but with very in-camp Gonzalez, Savinio, Doku up the top line right there. It looks like we definitely need some rotation. I actually found Bradshaw in the youth academy right there. Some players, obviously, as we all know, if you played career mode, do get some generated. So just sign them all, as we need as much players as we can. And just to confirm as well, we have got 45 million budget regardless of the 150 gone, because if I show you now, we did buy Tegan James from Plymouth Argo, and you know what, I'm going to give 150 million to my actual local club, Plymouth Argo. So that is confirmed. So Tegan Tegan Finn is in the team, so not too shabby indeed. But going back to the team here, we can have a look and assess it a little better. So I feel like 100% we need a new goalkeeper, a new striker, and maybe a new DM. We've got some rotation on the bench, so maybe some rotational players would be ideal to sign for the team. We're not going to try and use the Qatar players as much as possible. Hopefully they would just kind of deteriorate and get sold in the next couple of seasons, as they're not really supposed to be here, but we have to, due to the fact we won't be able to make this rebuild actually happen here today. Going on to the objectives now, though, we have also got the successful domestic success here, avoid relegation, FA Cup round of 16, not too shabby right there. I mean, round of 16 we could probably do, I reckon, but avoid relegation, I reckon we'll definitely get through that as well. Within 4 seasons, they want us to get back to the top flight and win the Premier League, which I think's fair. Continental, I thought I'd give Man City the benefit of the doubt and give them Champions League football. We haven't reached the quarterfinals, though. That's a big task. Crucial here, youth development, we've already ticked off, but I'm not going to actually go for this in this rebuild here, ladies and gentlemen, because due to the fact we have actually got quite a lot of young players as it is, I don't want to be overcrowded with more youth development. Brand exposure will get 10 wins in the season. Replace 3 players from the team, because obviously the Qatar players in there, they want more quality within the team, which makes sense, to be honest, as this team is looking pretty weak for season 1 so far under Pep Guardiola.
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock.
But being at our first season with Manchester City in this rebuild, we have to be cautious with our signings, so that's why we start off this rebuild with a striker from PSV in Ricardo Pepi here, at the overall of 76 and the age of 21. 17.8 million free from off the budget. We got about 25 around that mark left. We got to be cautious with our signings because we need some backups as well. But we need a goal scorer up top, and he will replace Erling Haaland's number 9. Big number to replace, but can he do it with this team under Pep this season? Going into our DN now, and we have signed a crucial DN here, which I believe in the next couple of seasons he could be aboard for us, in Matteo Platti here from Cagliari here in the Serie A division. Only paid 5 million for him at the overall 72, the age of 20, but he's got a good bit of potential about him. And I think under Pep and this team, he could grow up to be a very good player for us indeed. 2 signings down, a new number 7. But who else will be joining Manchester City in this massive rebuild with Pep. And with the goalkeeper position needing improving, we brought in Lucas Hardesky here from Leverkusen, and the overall of 83 at the age of 34. Didn't pay that much for him at all, and I feel like that is very good when it comes to keepers. You can kind of get away with having a high-rate goalkeeper who is quite low on the value and age. That's what makes him pretty decent. The veterans are coming in to fill the gaps when the money is short. Money is very short right now, but can we get any more signings though after making our third one with Pep at Man City? Let's see. And the answer is yes, because this we can go to my club. We did sign one more player in Josh Laurent here for 2 million, which makes our budget go very poorly to half under $1 million, which is a pretty of a shocker if you ask me. I did try to find a rotational striker, but as you just seen the budget there, we couldn't get it done. We just could not get it done. So it means we're going to have a bit of a risk here with Pepe not having rotational strikers. So hopefully he does not get injured. But the team's looking very nice indeed. I'm quite confident that we'll definitely avoid relegation with a tactical presence set as the wing play, neutralising Salvini and Doku. Before we zoom into the end of the season though, if you're wondering where we have gone with some of the players who couldn't make the cut, like the likes of De Bruyne, Erling Haaland, we have resorted back to their original clubs. So if I just show you Erling Haaland, he has returned back to Borussia Dortmund. Same with the likes of, I don't know, Ruben Diaz. He's gone back to Benfica. I mean, a player of that caliber going back there is going to be pretty nutty indeed. But it is what it is. The game is the game. I believe he was at Benfica, but I think you get the gist with the likes of De Bruyne going back to Wolfsburg as well. Bit of a wild one there, but that is the game, is the game. They have to find a club, and they got to resort back to their old club. But with the veterans going back to their original clubs, was it enough? As now we're at the end of the season, and it looks like we have got Fulham away. We did get a glimmer, and I think we have come 10th within the league. Just to clarify right here, Ollie Watkins, goal scorer. Salah, Isaac, and Son. Obviously, Son recently picking up the Europa League title. 18 million, so someone has definitely lost in January. We've had a shocker right there, losing a big player, it seems like. But there is standings. We are on 51 points with Fulham in our last game, which is very tight into the top 10 positions. So let's just get into this game in now, and let's see how our team is getting on. So let's get into it right here, and here it is. And it looks like it is Doku who has left, it seems like, in the top left-hand corner, because Oscar Bob has taken his role. So we'll get to that in a minute, but let's get hoping the win at Craven Cottage here. Can we get the result here? And it is a draw. So I do believe that just makes us finish 10th, which, I mean, for the new kind of Man City team, not too bad. But let's have a look at the transfers, because I'm intrigued to see who has left within the team. I think our cam's gone well, and we have Jeremy Doku has actually got to the top of the Europa League winners recently, beating Man United, and Richie Hare has gone to West Ham. A massive loss, huge loss, but obviously we must not be done as well this season, considering we have contention. You can probably see why they expect bigger things, but obviously with some of the restrictions we applied in this rebuild challenge, you can see why they potentially left. We have got the likes of Salvini and stuff. Let's have a look at the other competitions though. FA Community Shield and United, our rivals, got the victory right there. Bit frustrating indeed. FA Cup though, and we got to a final there. I mean, that's not too bad. Coming up to the runners up against Liverpool. Bit unfortunate right there. Cabero Cup, we've done well there, and Man United's gone for the double. Fair play to them right there. Champions League, I don't think we've done really well there. PSG versus Real Madrid. A massive final right there. Where do we come in this? Let's go. I don't think we've done anything, to be honest. We've come 10th, so I think we have gone through the playoffs here. So that's a little quick gander. No, I've gone to the wrong bloody page, as per usual. Let's see if we can just quickly find the playoffs. Oh, we lost to Leverkusen 5-2. So not the best season, no silverware, but there is growth within the team. Now the most kind of important thing within the team really for a rebuild, who was their standing players and where do we need to improve in the next season? Going to goals, and wow, Ricardo Pepe here carried this team, absolutely carried him. If we did not have this individual, we could be looking at relegation. 31 goals for the United States striker right there. Savino just coming in behind with 12 and 6. Oscar Bob actually doing bits with Doku going out, 9 and 3. Probably going to keep him in the left wing row, I feel like. McT as well, he's going up a little bit. Gonzalez gone up by +4, which is very nice. Plati here. I mean, the foundations of this team is not looking too bad, to be honest. I mean, you've got Joshko Gardel here. Here's our highest rated player, really, with the centre-back row. He's going nowhere. Nico O'Reilly as a rotation cam. He's not doing too bad as well, with 3 and 6 at the overall 71. Is not too shabby. And our centre-back right there, just got off the screen, is growing up as well. I mean, not too bad for Season 1, but there is a lot of work to do in Season 2. With a more of a bit of a budget now with Doku leaving, and our actual original Cam Vieri going to West Ham. We've got 18 million to carry over next season. So there should be a little bit more signings and a bit more progress within this rebuild in season 2. And here we are then into season 2 with Manchester City. And as you can see, in 30 days time, we have got West Ham United to kick off the season. Now we have simulated a couple of days, which makes our budget go to a whopping 98 million, which also is the help of Aussie Doku's leaving in the last season going to Tottenham. But we have made some other actual offers and also some business within the team. Harry Bradshaw here, a person I actually wanted to keep from the academy when we actually got into this career mode, has gone to Norwich on sale. 18-year-old at the overall of 70. It could have been an actually ridiculously good rotational goalkeeper or a starter in the near future, but he wanted to leave. But here, I'll be completely honest with you, I don't know where he came from, because he's from the French division, but he's at Manchester City, so I'm not too sure if there's a swap deal involved maybe when we simulate to the end of season 1. But it is what it is. He's gone along to Brighton. He's got excellent prospects. I'm hoping he come back and be a decent rotation player in the near future. Jacob Wright, one to the loan move, so he's gone to Ipswich, and the same with this individual going to Sheffield. Now, if we go to the team now, you can see that in some of the positions I've actually took at the main priority of the players in Dixon and the goalkeeper, because that is why I feel like we need to neutralise them positions this season. The rest of the team I feel is quite good. I'm actually going to give Oscar Bob the starting 11 in the left wing, considering he came in over Doku. He actually came up and actually produced some goods throughout the season. Same with O'Reilly, he's going to be on the rotation, but we do need probably the next big thing in that Cambro, and same in the goalkeeper. I'm just dropping Herdesky to the rotation. I guess someone a bit more younger in that department. Maybe a rotational striker as well in Al-Wahi here, the guitar kind of player we just actually had to bring in. I feel like that's the sign we definitely need to make in season 2. Now going on to the objectives here, we can clearly see we have ticked off one already in the brand exposure, which I'll just quickly find and get 10 wins in the league this season. Short term, I'm surprised it hasn't really, I don't know, start fresh in season 2, which is a bit strange, but it is. We'll just continue on as we go along here. Youth development, of course, we're not going to deep into this because I feel like we've got a lot of players, especially retiring from loan, already within the team. Continent success, of course, no objective because we finished 10th within the league. And domestic success, finished in the Europa League spot this season, reached the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. Considering we got to the final of the FA Cup, you never know, we might have a decent run again, maybe get to the final and not bother to Liverpool. Europa League spot, I think we can definitely do it with some of the growth, especially with having a young team we've got now. I feel like we could definitely hit that over the line and get there. I feel like it's going to be a better season this season, but we just need to be quite cautious on who we sign and keep the budget fairly quite alright for contracts and stuff. Other than that, I feel like we can do alright against West Ham to kick off this episode. Before that, we need to get some signs within this team, because else we're going to repeat as we did in season 1. Now, our first signing goes to the Cambro, and I'm going to say it, I feel like this is the bargain of all my channel with all the rumours I've done. We have gone for the River Plate Cam in Mastuano, the age of 17, overall 77. The reason why I say the biggest kind of steal ever on my channel is because this contract is expiring in 10 months' time. He's got a market value of 18.6 million, and we was able to pick him up for 17, so actual cheaper than his market value. An absolute steal for an over 77 at the age of 17 and one of the brightest futures from Argentina. And now, of course, as you see from the starting team, we need a goalkeeper, so we went to Porto. We've hijacked him. He was actually going to join there, but now he joins us in João Garcia. He's actually got a team this season in real life in the Spanish division. So he must be doing something well, especially we've hijacked him from Porto. But we paid roughly 32 million for him at the Euro of 82 at the age of 24. He's got a bit of potential about him, doing really well in real life. So why not take the move and hijack him at Porto and get him in this new, fresh from scratch Manchester City with Pep Guardiola. Our new number 1, I know it says number 12, but we're going to change him as our new number 1. Because let's be honest, Herdesky isn't going to have a massive future here. Probably more as a rotational goalkeeper, with João Garcia being the number 1 goalkeeper. And with the rotational striker position open within the team, we was able to go with someone a bit different here, who adds a bit different variety up top. Someone a bit taller, 6'3", from the Netherlands in Dallinga from Bologna here. At the age of 25, 79 overall. I'll be completely honest with you, I don't know a lot about him, but he has a bit of a presence about him. I looked at his stats, doesn't look too bad. Obviously a little bit different from Pepe, and that's what you need as a rotational striker. Can mix between the two. Not bad for 30 million. But with the new signings, is it going to be enough to get Manchester City some European competition in season 3? It looks like we have come 5th there, with Luton being in our last game. But anything can happen with the Premier League, and the calendar suggests that it will be 5th position we will be getting right here. Chelsea are on our tails, but it doesn't matter. Regardless, whoever wins, we are 5th within the league. I'll take Europa League is a lot better step up from 10th last season. FA Cup before we get into Luton. did not get to the final. But in terms of the league, it is a lot better. It's kind of switched it around. Last season, we did really well in the FA Cup. It didn't do us best in the league. But now this season, we've done really well in the league, but not as good in the FA Cup. Getting knocked out by Arsenal. One of their rivals in real life, 3-2 at the Emirates right there. Is a bit of a shocker. I'll tell you what as well, we might as well have a look at the likes of the Carabao Cup. We've done well there. No massive final 3-2 there. We'll be getting on this one. Don't think we did really well in this. Oh, Norwich won on penalties, so fair enough indeed. Did not expect that at all. But going back to the Premier League, who actually went on to win the league here? And Aston Villa, out of all teams, went on to win the Premier League, with Liverpool coming second, Arsenal third, Spurs fourth, us fifth, and Chelsea in sixth. Newcastle had a bit of a stinker going down to eighth. Man United still not looking like a competitive team like it was back in the A-Day, but yeah, they're kind of slipping down a little bit. But Aston Villa, fair bloody play to them, winning the Premier League. Got to give them the actual props right there. I feel like they're not going to get cut up at all here, but you never know. But let's get into Lewin. We can see some growth within the team. Master Wenu, who's probably one of the bargains of the season, is doing really well. Garcia's gone up a little bit as well. Pepsi has gone up. I'm hoping he's had a very good season as well. Hopefully there should be a result in Luton, and they don't. Luton actually get the win here, which could actually help them survive the Premier League. And I think, to be fair, it did massively help them. Anything could have come down, but they got the 3 points and has secured them safety in 16th. So there you go. There's the confirmed Premier League season. Aston Villa getting it done right at the end as well, which is pretty nice to see. But this is the Man City rebuild. We don't really care for the rest of the teams here, but let's see how the outstanding players were for this season. So we go to statistics, and of course it goes to recorded Pepsi again here, 28, not as many as last season. Salvino, brilliant season from in 25 and 5. Mastueno, the bottom of the season, 14 and 12 assists. Fantastic for a debut in the Premier League. Oscar Bob, not as many there, so maybe, I mean, these three here are doing really well, but maybe perhaps Oscar Bob drops back down to the reserves for the substitutions, if you could say, and maybe we get an outstanding left winger right there. Gonzalez did well. Rico Lewis with 10 assists in the right back row is pretty impressive. I've got to give him that. We got some loanies there, like Bahi's gone up a little bit. Wright's gone up to a 70, so probably be on the substitutions for next season, not going out on loan. Before we sit into season 3 though, let's have a look at the transfer history. Has anyone potentially left the club in January? And I don't think so, which is absolutely fine. I'll take that. Season 3, Europa League football next season. I mean, we have just got European football, which I think was the main objective. Let me just clarify that right now. If I go to the objectives, I believe it was kind of just getting into that region. Reached the quarterfinals for it and Europa League spots, so we literally have ticked it off. Within 4 seasons, win the Premier League title. We're on the track to doing that. Season 3, maybe we can try and go for some silverware. I'm looking at the Europa League and maybe the FA Cup. More really, I would say, towards the Europa League. Maybe the Carabao Cup as well, but not too shabby for season 2 with this brand new team with Manchester City. However, things have took a turn for the worse, because if I can go into the transfer history, kicking off season 3, we have lost the main man Ricardo Pepe here. I actually did accept this offer, and you probably know, why have you done that? 120 million to a rival, but the overall of 84, the age 23, yes, he'll grow up and he gets a lot of goals, but that value is ridiculous for an 84. And because of that, we've also sold a couple of other players of it, and Victor Rez has gone out on loan to Club Blues. Preston in Mbamba there, and Lauren, who we did recently sign very, very early on in this rebuild, has gone for Watford for 1.9 million. But the reason I've done that is, if I could just quickly show you here, we have got 281 million to play with in season 3. Which could massively help us going for the Champions League spot in the Premier League and the FA Cup. Continental, they want us to win the Europa League, and I feel like with that budget, we can bring in some world-class players to really bolster up this team. Get a streak of 10 games without defeating the home matches this season. I think that's absolutely fine. And without further ado, let's get into the team and assess where we need to improve. Now, also, one thing we did say is Oscar Boa's going to drop to the actual reserves here / substitutions. Actually, I've got good 2 rotations here in the attacking role right here, in with O'Reilly. I'm going to actually put Salvini in the left wing here, because as you can see in the top right corner, he can play both positions. And we've also got the rotation right there. So I'm going to be looking for a new right winger here. Definitely a new striker, and for me, probably a new rotation on left back, as Wilson Asbrand isn't really going to make the cut in terms of growing up within this team. Other than that though, I think the team is actually looking pretty decent. I want to try and win the Europa League this season, go for the FA Cup, maybe get the 2, get Champions League football. The top 3 I'm looking for now, not 5th, not 4th, not 6th. Top 3 is where we need to finish now with Pep in season 3. Not too shabby though. First game of the season is against Luton, but first we need to get some new signings for this team to actually bolster and increase our chances for season 3. with the objectives the board have given us this season. Talking about world-class stars, we've got Rodrigo. You're probably thinking, well, this is very unrealistic, but just hear me out. With the budget we have got, Man City being one of the biggest teams in world football, regardless of this rebuild challenge or not, he actually is looking potentially to part away from Real Madrid because it isn't really working out there for him with the likes of Vinny, Jude and Mbappe kind of lingering in that attacking role. It just isn't massively going his way. He wants to potentially look at a move. He's linked with Arsenal, he's linked with Liverpool, but why not bring him to Manchester City? He's actually number 9. Probably give that to the striker, which we may or may not sign one. 150 million for the overall 90 overall in Rodrigo. What a talent to get at Manchester City. Now, I said we might or may not sign a striker, but we have found the perfect replacement for Pepe, a guy that's way too good for the Saudi League. Sadly, he went never going to bring back to the Prem in John Duran, age 22, overall 84. He is way too good. And I think, to be honest, with Arsenal picking up at Pepe here, I mean, we've got the likes of Rodrigo and Duran. He's the same overall as the 84, age 22. I think we've done incredible business here to get in 2 massive talents with this guy having a bit more better potential as well. Definitely going to be our new number 9. I will have to change it. But Duran is back in the Premier League, not with Villa, but with Pep Guardiola and Manchester City. Got to change that wristband to the light blue because there's no way it's going to stay yellow like the Saudi League. And the last position we needed to cover was, of course, we said it was the rotational left back row. And I went, you know what, let's go to Arsenal, the team that took Pepe, and get one of their players. So we got picked up Nuno Tavares here, the left back at Arsenal. Age 26, overall 80, he's accepted rotation. He offers a little bit different from Nico Lewis. Obviously a lot taller than Rico Lewis. A bit more physical, let's just say that. But I think players like this joining to the team, a bit more high red, will increase our chances to go far in the Europa League and perhaps go on to win it in Season 3. But am I going to be right though? Are we going to secure the Europa League? Because once again, we're at the end of the season and it looks like we have come third, but we have got Liverpool in our last game. Is it going to be a top 2 finish? And no, regardless of the outcome, we have 100% finished third with the league. I said top 3 to be fair, but obviously the main objective is the Europa League. We might as well get this game out of the way because let's be realistic, it doesn't really matter. The growth in the team is getting there. I mean, Mascherano in camp has gone up massively as we expected. Bargain of the season. I mean, defensively, it's looking okay. Guardiola's holding the back line. Garcia's going up. Rodrigo and Saverio, 91 both each. Duran only going to buy +1. Brazilians doing a bit, hopefully, this season. But can we get the win at Anfield? A bit of a shocking result this will be. And we lose 2-1, unfortunately. We have Rafinha from Balde gets in the goals with Nico getting the only goal in the 43rd. We bottled it seems like, but it is what it is. Other than that though, hopefully the rest of the season has not been too shabby for us. And we have won something because we have got the celebration and it's 2 trophies. It is the Europa League and the Carabao Cup. We will happily take that indeed. We'll skip it here so we can have a look at it. The celebration on the bus confirms it right now. Well, to be fair, like I said, it has confirmed it. As you can see, 3rd in the league. Chelsea actually gone to win it now, 90 points, 9 points clear from 2nd in Liverpool. FA Cup, how did we get on there? Everton beat Sheffield. Didn't expect that one there. I mean, Sheffield just recently lost real life to Sunderland, bought it right at the end. Very unfortunate from right there. Everton, a team that's not looking that good in the Premier League, have actually gone on to win a trophy in the FA Cup. Huge win from right there. Actually won on penalties against Fulham. I mean, to be fair, just look at them 4 teams in the FA Cup. Everton, Fulham, Sheffield and Southampton. Fair bloody play for them, I've got to say right there. Round of 6, we got knocked out by Southampton at home as well at the Etihad. Fair play to Southampton. The Carabao Cup, of course, we've won that against our rivals Man United, which is very nice. Actually beat Brighton 5-2 on aggregate. Super Cup, we actually will be getting this next season because as we just saw, we did win in the Europa League. It went down to penalties 5-4 in Frankfurt. We was definitely fresh. There's 3-3. What a final that is. Wow, domination in the semis of 7-0 on aggregate, 4-0 well to Wolfsburg. Well, of course, Kevin De Bruyne is still there, I do believe, unless he has gone to someone else. But a good season, 2 trophies down, top 3 in the Premier League, which is very nice. Champions League football has been secured for Manchester City. Let's see who the outstanding players are before we get into Season 4, where it could be our last season. We're getting closer and closer to securing the Premier League title. Of course, we're going to get money now from the Europa League and from just getting into the next season regardless. We're doing all right. FA Cup, still a bit of a boogeyman trophy. We obviously bottled that in the first season, but we're looking for maybe in Season 4 to really go for it all. But Salvinho takes player of the season, 32 and 14 out of 62 games. Dalinga actually getting more goals than new signing Duran, and no assist here. Dalinga with less games, more goals and more assists. So Duran's had a bit of a stinker of a season, really. Getting 3 goals in the Premier League is not good enough at all. Only going +1. I was wondering why I only went by +1. I mean, hopefully in season 4 he turns up, because that could be the season, make or break. If it doesn't, then we obviously know where the problem is, and we need to get another striker again. Mascherano, 12 and 16, 19 years old. I mean, considering we signed this guy, I think for around 15, 16 million, and now his market value is pretty much near 90 million. It's ridiculous. I mean, bargain of the season right there. Happy days. Let's have a look at some more individuals with statistics here. Just keep scrolling down. Nico Gonzalez, who scored against Liverpool there. Oscar Bob rotationally, doing fantastic. Tavares and Canosso here in the left back rows, really getting similar stats, to be fair. Really good rotation. I think that was a right move there. Rico Lewis getting a lot of assists again. Going up really slowly though. I think that's the thing with this defense. It's going up really slow. Canato's going up slow. Rico Lewis, you can argue maybe that perhaps they need to kind of change positions, perhaps. Maybe we can deep dive into that in season 4. Perot and Prati not really growing up as I expected to, especially Prati, like I said at the start of this rebuild. McAtee, not too shabby. The only thing I will say, ladies and gentlemen, if I can just go to the financial, I will be running out some of these contracts right here because he won't have much room and future a team. You could make an argument for Callum Doyle, but because we've got so many centre-backs within the team, I am just going to let him go. And I think the money situation should be absolutely fine. Just let him go on a free somewhere and let him enjoy his football. But to be fair, season 3, 2 trophies down, we would definitely take that. Season 4, though, could be a banger. Could be the last season with Pep Guardiola and Manchester City. But is this going to be the season where we secure the whole goddamn lot? We've got a lovely budget of 135 million, and I'll simulate it all the way to the Super Cup, where we actually play AC Milan in the Super Cup. A bit of a rare trophy, a bit of a trophy that gets a bit underlooked, I feel like, in real life. But before we jump in and simulate throughout the calendar year, we have to make some adjustments within the team. If we go to the team management here, I am going to give Duran the benefit of the doubt. It was his first season here, bit of a slip up there, but I feel like in the second season he's got to improve. But with that money we've got within the team, I feel like I said that Prati here hasn't really grown up, same with Perot, as we expected. So maybe a new DM could come into that team, and I'm thinking a new rotational right back. We've seen with Tavares here and Rico Lewis and Canotto, it has been rotating quite nice in that region, but we need to kind of continue on with this and actually get someone a little better, I feel like, in the right back role, with Ba growing up quite lovely here at the age of 21 at the overall 77. I don't think we need to really improve the centre-back department, as I feel like rotationally it is pretty good. The attack is absolutely solid. We've seen that this season. Oh, hopefully we can get the job done here. Going on to the objectives now, though, we should be aligned with the same kind of desires we want to do this season, and it is win the Premier League, win the FA Cup, and reach the final of the Champions League. I want to go for the whole lot. I think the FA Cup, where closest was actually in season 1, but we kind of dipped away from that now. I mean, we won the Europa League, we won the Carabao Cup. We're going for it all. Could try and go for the Super Cup. Could actually go for the quadruple this season. That would be the dream. But if not, well, also, of course, very rarely could go into season 5, which I feel like, the reason I'm saying rarely, how good the team is at the moment, you expect us to get the whole lot done now, especially as we're going closer and closer and climbing to even higher positions every season in the Premier League. FA Cup, hopefully it's not a boogeyman trophy for me and be the only one I've got to take off to go into season 5, and hopefully the Champions League, we have a good run there. Win 2 seasons, done 3 of the best players in the world, overall of 82 plus. We nearly ticked that one off there, but I feel we could do it within the budget. I feel like we've got a decent amount of budget here to really get that 1 or 2 more superstars that maybe just be the final piece of the puzzle to really kick off this campaign in season 4 and win the whole goddamn lot with Pep and Manchester City. So we're looking for a DM, and I thought, you know what, let's go a little bit realistic here. A signing that could potentially happen in real life. I actually checked it online. It's an 80% chance this could happen. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm going off of what AI said here, but Bruno Guimaraes joins Manchester City on an 86 over at the age of 29. I wouldn't have really made this offer because there was a lot, but his contract was expiring, so we was able to pick him up for a whopping 55 million, which I think, at that overall and that experience, I think we've got another bargain with Pep Guardiola and Manchester City. But we're not done there yet, because with our final signing in season 4, maybe the last signing ever in this rebuild, if things goes our way, we have picked up Thiago Santos from Inter here for 54 million. The right back comes in the overall of 84 at the age of 25. Just want a bit of competition with Jan Canotto and also Rico Lewis with the fullbacks as well. Same with Tavares. I want them to play at their best. I want them to grow up higher. So I feel again an individual like this, don't really know about him, but he's got a good overall, good bit about him. Game face as well. It's green ticks all around the box. But can we tick off the boxes for the actual season? Can we get this challenge completed with Manchester City? We've made the signings, we've made the procedures, and go for it all now. And it looks like our last game will be against Chelsea. Not too bad of a team to go against in your last game, is it? And we are in a final, and I think we have actually beaten Chelsea on the 13th of May to win the FA Cup. So the treble could be potentially on if we won the Premier League, and we have. We've absolutely dominated, by the way. We have gone back to the old ways of Manchester City, but we have got now Chelsea are 12th in the league, I've just seen that, and you can see why we've done so well, to be honest. Our team has grown up massively into a boat standard winning side team, and we actually got the draw right at the end there. I don't know who got the score right at the end there. We might have got a player of the season as well. This normally happens before the Champions League, and we haven't, but we have got the Champions League final. Before we get into that and see the lineups, let's have a look at the other competitions, shall we? I just seen there the semi-finals. We beat Real Madrid aggregate 3-all but 1 on penalties. Marseille actually nearly got into the final. I mean, that would have been a bit of a final where you expect us to really batter them, but I think Inter in their real life with PSG yet to be played whilst this video gets released. Be intrigued to see that final. It'll be a very good one indeed. PSG and Inter been there in that occasion, the final many times, but one team has not got over the line yet. Borussia Dortmund right there, also had Erling Haaland. We actually talking about PSG, we beat them in the round of 16. Bit of a hard round of 16 there. The playoffs, of course, we didn't get there, I feel like, because we have come 7th. I was going to say, surely, if we'd got that far, we wouldn't have been in the playoffs. Let's go into the FA Cup. Of course, we battered Chelsea 3-0 right there, semi-final with Leicester. Still got to the semi, same with Leicester. Fair play to them right there. Beat Arsenal 4-1. We have been dominant this season. Blackpool in the round of 5, round 4. And we beat Wolves, not too bad there. Carabao Cup, and we couldn't get that one over the line right there. Where did we get knocked out on this one? We got knocked out in, if I can just quickly find it here. I can't really find it. We lost to Bristol City on penalties. All right, fair enough. An underdog story right there. Fair play. It was a big game for them indeed. Not too shabby. Did we win the Super Cup as well? And we did. So a quadruple is on the cards here. I mean, fantastic. Right there. We're just going to go on the calendar, to be honest, because it's be a little bit quicker. So let's just get on to it right there. I'm surprised I didn't get the animation, to be fair, with the Champions League, where you kind of lose into it and it does the cinematic. But game's the game. I mean, we're not going to complain. But we have got into it. Let's have a look at the opponent analysis here before we get into this game. I feel like sometimes the substitutes is a bit glitchy. They do sometimes start like the likes of Mo Salah there. Esposito, a good team indeed. Lautaro Martinez is the guy to watch. Playing a 5-back formation. I'm intrigued to see how Salah's going to fit in there. Maybe play up top over Torrini. The likes of Barella, Carlogic, Frateschi, and Lautaro Martinez. He is the danger man with a brilliant goalkeeper in real life, which I highly rate. And I think a lot of people do at the moment as well, with some of the saves he plays in summer. The tactical present, they play on the wing. So key player defenses of Bissek and Barella and Vivian. Key attacking players are Lautaro, Sommer, and Carlogic. I don't know how Sommer's a key attacking player. Maybe he's got the long ball trait. I'm not too sure. We'll have to wait and see. Hopefully that doesn't damage too much right there. But getting into the game here now. And I can't believe it. Rodrigo has got a red card in the final. I cannot believe that. Probably one of the players that we do not want to drop. But I feel like as much as I want to maybe put McT in his position, we're going to go Oscar Bob. I feel like he can do a row. He can play right wing as it is. He's a lot more high rated. Santos as well. He's got the rating of Kanato. You could think I could play Rico Lewis, but that is why I got him in there. Bit more rotation in that department. I feel like also, of course, we can't really play Rodrigo. Didn't expect that. I'm just going to pick Perot there. Also rotate with McT and Mascherano because they got O'Reilly as well, and then Linger on the bench. Massive loss. Huge loss indeed. But can we get to the result at Old Trafford here? That would be a bit sour going against our rivals right there in terms of the stadium and Manchester United. Bit of intrigue on this. Let's get into it. So here we have it then, Inter versus Manchester City. The only things I've done here, ladies and gentlemen, is just change the kicks. I didn't want a kick clash, and I've also made the Rand's armband light blue, but it's a bit glitchy because it's not getting rid of the yellow one. That's why it's a bit tricky right there. So if you can see on your screen, I can see it on mine as well. It's very irritating indeed, but I can't really do anything about it. Why don't you bloody take it off? So we've got 2 colours on. He's got 2 wristbands on. But regardless of that, let's not talk about bloody wristbands. Let's control the game here. Good ball down the line, but Oscar Bob has been caught offside. Unlucky indeed. Big game for him, right? But a hell of a good talent in real life. Just, I think, needs more game time. Maybe a nice loan spell. Or maybe a move abroad can really bring out that player in Oscar Bob. I think naturally, everyone can admit he's got that natural talent about him. But here comes Lautaro. That could be offside there, but they might just call onside. And John Garcia there, the guy that just got a 94 team of season card for Espanyol in real life. Correct me if I'm wrong, that's how his team is. But here we go though. Mascherano Twisting and turning. Look at that from in there. Duran making the run. Can't get it. There's Besek there. One of the players to watch out for in the tactical present, as we saw on the wing play. That's one of their key players. But yeah, the signing of my whole channel, I feel like, in terms of the stealing or cam. About 15 or 16 minute, correct me, I believe I was. Whether there for Guardiola. A bit of 50-50 game with both games of teams, sorry. Really going for it here. Into Duran here. Can play it inside. He does get it to Mascherano here, and he could get a good chance. I think gets the shot off a walking angle, and it goes wide against Julie Simon. Did he get a touch onto that? It looked like he said about Pep looking on to lift it, and he did get a touch to that. Hoping to lift his second Champions League title. He could go for the quadruple here. Up we go. Can't do it. Goes into Oscar Bob, going out wide there to Savina, one of the best players on the pitch. Goes into the box, and Bruno Guimaraes cannot convert that. I was looking for the bottom left-hand corner, but unfortunately cannot prevail in his aerial attempt to get it on target. Miguel. Oscar Bob couldn't get it, but I thought he did get it. Did enough, though, to pay him off. And they got a good chance. Duran. A player who hasn't really been the best in this reboot, but does well to cut inside. And he looks a little bit better today, I've got to say. Good cut inside from the former Hours and Saw striker there. Got into the box there. I'm going to go back out wide. Oh, no, it hasn't. It's turned into Oscar Bob. And Oscar Bob loses the aerial battle, but Rico Lewis does well. Guardiola. Inside there to Mascherano. Does well. What a turn that is from that. Is there? The post. He feels incredible on the ball. The young Argentine. Need putting them well. Conor like our new Phil Foden, who hasn't been the best in real life. They're not the best season, did it? Honestly, more, the game is important and all, but mental health and stuff is more important. There's a good ball back to the back post. And Basque there. Good shots in Joe Garcia. It's 50-50 this game. It really is. I think we edged it a little bit though, but not the best pass out to Miguel. Latoro. Fantastic there. And Kusanov here. I'll tell you what, an LBY that is. If Oscar Ball can try to control that, and that will do, to be fair, just to get out for a throw-in. A 0-0 game, but a very cagey game. Into Rico Lewis there. And Rico Lewis has got a bit of an angle to go for a shot here. I've done with that left foot to curl it into the top right corner, but it does not even get on target. It gets blocked. But a 0-0 in this Champions League final. But I think we can all say that the game is quite a little bit entertaining. I'm surprised there hasn't been a goal. We've hit the woodwork. We're edging it a bit over the very, very good Inter Milan. Right, gentlemen, into the second half, and two changes comes on here. Max Perot, who has been one of the starters with Platti in the rotation of Guimaraes, comes onto the pitch here, and also Santos comes on for Canosso. Has been a bit quiet, and I feel like Santos, considering it's the same overall, I feel like they would have rotated quite a lot for it the simulated season, so I feel like it's only fair to do that within the game in the final. Miguel here. I'll say that, it's been absolutely bodied there. What was that? That was embarrassing. Guardiola here, who's what a defender he is. He's done well there. Absolutely just bodied him. Wins it back after the mistake of his fullback there. And Duran is making a run over the top, and defenders are reaching it, but it's not the best ball. He needs to be a bit more comfortable there. Oscar Bob with not the best delivery. It's Miguel is getting a lot of the ball here. Twisted and turning. Inter has kind of took a new approach to this half, it seems, and a bit more slower with the build-up play. Ball at the top there, that should be ours. And that is enough to put him off. Guardiola into Thiago. Into Duran. Duran with a good bit of speed here. He goes right past him. Duran is in! The guy who has not been the best in this rebuild. You can see with the glitchy yellow and blue wristband. We use that quick step, rapid play style traits. That control lengthy build he is, just a bouncing pass, and use the new method, the low driven, a clinical goal regardless of his online or career mode. It's a good finish. Bounce pass, I mean they should do better. He gets past two to be fair, he's done brilliantly, could even sweat it there. But we're 1-up in this final. So John Duran, the guy that went to Saudi for the money, is back and potentially winning a Champions League title. Ball goes out wide to Rico Lewis. There's a lot opening now. Get into Mascherano. Out wide. Just going to reset there. Well done. into Rico Lewis. Rico Lewis has got a bit of an angle here, and Rico Lewis, no one's closing Rico Lewis. And it goes out for a corner. Did not expect that right there. I'm going to see if we can make a couple more subs as Mo Salah makes onto the pitch. So with Salah coming onto the pitch, we made 2 changes of ourselves here, and back comes on for Kusanov, and O'Reilly comes on Massimiliano there, which I probably have butchered a hell of a lot of names there, but the game is the game. And more rotation within the team. I'm going to get a right winger on. I'm going to get Sansa on this. I was going to say a right-footed winger in a sense to get on this. And so Carroll there goes into the box. And Tat is up. But so is Oscar Bob. Oscar Bob goes for the shot now. Eunice Simmons had a bit of a stinker there. And Oscar Bob still retrieves. He's had a good final covering over Rodrigo. Out wide there. Need an option. We're going to get it in there. It's a good shot. A goal, Patat. And it does not really contest. Going for the long shot. I mean, why not? I mean, it was massively open. And if you feel that you're going to score within myself as well, you might as well hit it. You never know. We've seen good goals. Rickard into the show. Inter step up the tempo now, as we expected now, considering they now know and they've run out of time. Vivian. And Rory does well. This rotation can actually play fullback as well, which is a bit strange when we first had him. And there's a good tactical foul there. I think Perot will pick up the yellow card there, and he was running through, to be honest. Hence why we did pull him down. The referee's calling him over, and I think it is the yellow card animation. And Maximiliano Perot with the obvious card of pulling him down. Tactical foul, I feel like. But is it going to backfire on us? It's a good ball out wide. Barella. Is this going to be a stalemate 1-goal thriller into Lautaro, or is something going to open up? Lautaro, the ball, and we clear our lines. And Salvini, who, to be honest, has been very quiet in this game, with a poor touch from our highest rated player. Mo Salah is still dangerous wherever he goes. Lautaro is there, and Joe Garcia catches the ball. And regardless if it's online or career, like I said, we are going to be a bit ratty and hold this ball as long as we can to run down this clock to potentially secure a quadruple. And I think, oh, hang on, and it is, doesn't matter, the ref has not allowed it. And I apologise if it isn't the most entertaining final, but that will be the challenge completed. Not only have we won the FA Cup, the Premier League and the Champions League, the Super Cup, to secure a quadruple this season, where we made Manchester City hit rock bottom and rebuild them when they literally had nothing, with 150 million for Tegan Finn to Plymouth Argyle. 150 million right there, gone. All the big outstanding players, like the likes of Bernardo Silva, Erling Haaland, Ruben Diaz, Kevin De Bruyne, Edison, all leaving this team in the dirt. It took us 4 seasons to make a brand new Manchester City without any controversial financial problems. But as you can see, we are going to lift the Champions League title to secure this challenge to be completed. Fantastic team, some outstanding players within the team that made this possible. What a team, with Guardiola getting his hands on his 4th trophy this season. And the party has begun. We can only see 3 trophies, but it is a quadruple with the Super Cup at the beginning of the season with Pep Guardiola. We've actually made a better team than he actually won the Champions League and the Premier League in real life recently, a couple of years back. But it is what it is. Pep has done it. He doesn't need all the money in the world. He's one of the greatest managers of all time. For some people, the best manager of all time. But we've hoped along the way to make this team fantastic. And we can now have a look at the outstanding players of the season. So if we go into the squad hub here now, and let's get to statistics. Who's it going to go to? And it goes to Jean Zoran, a player, like I said, in Season 4. Give him time. In Season 3, wasn't the best. Terrible stats, with the rotational striker getting way more goals and less appearances. And he had literally 0 assists. But look at him now. Could be on the verge of winning the Ballon d'Or with his potential, how he should have been with 10 goals and 14 appearances in the Champions League. Salvino in 61 appearances, 93 overall and 28 and 11. Rodrigo obviously worked out to be a good signing. In Champions League 5 and 2 out of 14 is pretty impressive. Mascherano, again, for me, the signing of my whole channel. The biggest steal ever, I feel like. One of the world's best, 125 million market value. With his contract expiring, we picked him up for only 15 million. And look how quick he has grown consistently throughout the seasons as well, getting goals and assists Bruno Gunamaras, 9 and 12 though. Kusanov, brilliant. Jan Konotto, Guardiola, expected more goals from him considering he scores a lot in real life. Talenga, not getting many games because of course Duran now is absolutely kicking it out the park. But in the Champions League, 2 and 2, so he's also done a bit as a rotational striker. But what a team indeed. And to wrap up, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to have a look at my career statistics right here. So as you can see, 1 club, 1 league title, 2 domestic cup titles with obviously the Champions League and the Europa League, and 2 continental cups in right there. Obviously we've won the FA Cup, we've won the Carabao Cup, we've won the Super Cup with our biggest win with 6-1 against Wolves, our biggest defeat 4-0 against Newcastle, with 223 played, 128 wins, 48 draws and only 47 losses. What a rebuild this is here. A little bit different in my channel, to be fair, to actually butcherize this Man City team, but this is the final team that has completed this challenge. Surprisingly, Rico Lewis, I expected him to be around the 87, 88. He's got a bit of potential in real life, but he hasn't grown up massively. I know that you can convert him into a DM and he can go a lot higher, but I want him in his natural position. And also with Konotto as well, you can convert him more of an attacking role and he goes higher. But with the likes of Roger, I mean, look at this attack. I mean, the Duran is phenomenal. I mean, if he did like another 2 or 3 seasons, he'll be getting to the 90s as well. Gonzalez as well, who was here originally, who hit the requirements of the overall less than 85 and the age 25, 92 as well. Gunamaras in season 4 also was the key factor to get us to the finishing line with Santos with the 2 last signings. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, if you did like this rebuild and want to see more, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.